All right, we got a circular saw with a fresh battery. I'm going to show you some circular saw tips. Easy, buddy, easy. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. Chill. All right, I'm going to show you a couple tips that'll all work together in unison. We have a piece of 2-inch insulation. We're going to cut on that so we don't cut on our table. You can see I've cut on my table quite a bit, but if you want to save your work surface, you can cut on top of this. And one thing that's important is to make sure your blade is set high enough to just kiss through the material. You don't want to go much further than that because you create a hazard. It could be dangerous if your blade is sticking too far out of the bottom. So my blade's just going to kiss through the material. All right, I'm going to show you a tip cutting against a square. If you have a speed square, put it against the material. You could follow either side of the plate as a guide. Butt everything up against, go slow and steady. And this is nice because the wood doesn't fall away while you cut, when you cut against the styrofoam. And you have a nice square cut to your material. Okay, I'm going to show you how to put notches or dados inside of a 2x4. I made this little jig which falls down onto the 2x4, and this gives us both extremes on our plate on the bottom of our circ saw. Let me demonstrate. Okay, you see how you could make a dado. You cut down a consistent depth, a whole bunch of wafers here, and you just break these out. Without any knots, you get a nice clean break. Okay, I'm going to show you how to cut a 2x4 with that same technique I talked about earlier with the speed square. The reason I'm showing you on a 2x4 is when you cut, you want the piece to fall completely away. It falls completely away for safety. This way you get no binding if you let it fall to the ground. I'm going to show you a couple techniques on cutting a bigger piece of wood on sawhorses. Now sometimes you'll get chip out when the blade comes up out of the wood. The way to prevent that is to take a razor blade and give yourself a couple of swipes through the veneer. And I like to move over that razor blade so that I'm actually on either side of the saw cut. So now as the blade passes through the material, it's going to be pulling up the veneer just between the razor blade cuts. Most good circular saws have a nice guide. We'll show you either side of the width of the blade. And right here you can see that this is adjustable too, so you make some referential cuts and then you make sure that you're accurate. I'm almost through this whole cut, and when you get to the end of the cut, sometimes the wood falls away. It'll break right there because the weight of the wood is not being supported. A way to do that is take a piece of scrap and just stick it under the back. So now the back of your long piece is supported. This is good for like a 8-foot long cut or a 4-foot long cut. Now if I didn't support that, it would have twisted away. You would have got a nice crack right here. If you take a close look here, you see there's no chip out because the razor blade prevented the veneer from breaking out on either side of the line. I did it a little bit wide just to accentuate the effect, but if you needed to make a tighter cut, just make your razor blade lines closer together. I showed you this tip earlier where you can cut through the board for support, but it's also a good tip to show you how to prevent chip out. If you cut with your veneer face down, you won't get chip out. Let me demonstrate that. You can either cut against a board like this or against another sacrificial board. Just kiss through and you get a nice clean cut on your finished side, which you'd always have down. Let's see how we did. You see we got a little bit of chip out on either side of the up cut. Let's check the back. Now the back cut is perfect. So if you ever need a really good clean cut, put your finished side face down away from the saw and you won't have any blowout. Come on. Come here, good boy. Come on, buddy, let's go. There's nothing in there for you. Let's go. Okay, every circular saw has its own variable size plate. It's good for you to have an offset block so you know what the distance is from your straight edge to the blade so that when you want to set up a fence, you know where to put it. And let me demonstrate what I mean. Randomly, I need to cut this right here. I want to cut that off. And I want to set up this fence. Where in space does that fence go? Because I have my offset block and I made it a square, so no matter which direction I show it, it's in the same distance. I give myself a mark there. I give myself a mark there. And I set up my straight edge. Make yourself an offset block so you know the distance between your blade and the edge of your plate. I'm going to show you how to make a sled that'll correlate with the line exactly where you want to cut it. I prepared this off camera. This is just hot glued on here, and just like I showed you with your little offset tab, we're going to basically make this one big offset tab. I'm going to cut off the scrap so that it's always exactly the right size. So there, now I have what I can trust to be the exact line the blade is going to cut on when I want to do a cross cut on a piece of plywood. Let's give it a shot. In this case, I'm going to kiss the top of the sawhorses. So I'm going to cut through the top of the sawhorses, but they're sacrificial, so that's okay. And there you know you're perfect every time. Wherever the edge is exactly where your cut is going to be. And you can keep this one. You can have this one. Hang it on the wall. A lot of these saws come with this guide for added value, but it is more reliable to use something like this. You got your track that you made, works better every time for making smaller, consistent, repeatable cuts. When you develop your confidence with the circular saw, then and only then would I attempt to do a plunge cut. It's a dangerous move, but sometimes you need to get access to the middle of a wall or a floorboard or inside someplace where you can't cut in from the edge, and you have to make a plunge cut. Use the front of your plate as a pivot. Line up where you need to be. You have to hold your guard back to get started, it's important, and try and stay on that line and just use the front of that plate as a pivot. And you can see there I'm almost as big as I need to be for both corners. And now finish your corners with a handsaw. And there you go. And there you go. And there you go. Thank you to Lowe's for sponsoring this video. Thank you to Spike for helping out. Always be careful using your circular saw, and remember, never ever lock the guard up with a pencil. That's very dangerous. Don't ever do that. Safe sawing.